God. The sign of truth is Christ, and the soul of truth is God. Life of truth is eternal, immortal is its past. Power of truth shall endure, truth shall hold to the last.
I don't have to tell you things are bad. Everybody knows things are bad. It's a depression. Everybody's out of work or scared of losing their job. The dollar buys a nickel's worth. Banks are going bust. Shopkeepers keep a gun under the counter. Punks are running wild in the street, and there's nobody anywhere who seems to know what to do, and there's no end to it. We know the air is unfit to breathe, and our food is unfit to eat. We sit watching our TVs while some local newscaster tells us that today we had 15 homicides and 63 violent crimes, as if that's the way it's supposed to be. We know things are bad, worse than bad. They're crazy. It's like everything everywhere is going crazy, so we don't go out anymore. We sit in the house, and slowly the world we're living in is getting smaller, and all we say is, please, at least leave us alone in our living room. Let me have my toaster and my TV and my steel-belted radios, and I won't say anything. Just leave us alone. Well, I'm not going to leave you alone. I want you to get mad. I don't want you to protest. I don't want you to riot. I don't want you to write to your congressman because I wouldn't know what to tell you to write. I don't know what to do about the depression and the inflation and the Russians and the crying in the street. All I know is that first, you've got to get mad. You've got to say, I'm a human being. God damn it. My life has value.
No matter how you turn it, no spin. Hello to all the folks who are obsessed with the most monitored talk show in the world. We're talking about NewsSpin, and it's on the NewsSpin Facebook page as well as Power 97.9 FM and the NewsSpin YouTube channel. That's why, as always, we like you to please like the video, share, subscribe to the NewsSpin YouTube channel, and click the notification bell to help the NewsSpin channel grow. Janti is here, already going through your comments in the chat rooms, and she'll be sharing a few updates with you. I'll be taking your calls as well at 452-2979, 452-2979. WhatsApp calls and messages 716-2026. We have a giveaway during the course of this afternoon's program. Giveaway a monetary prize to a lucky father. I'm not giving you a six-pack of this and a six-pack of that or a little t-shirt. No. L'argent, money, so you could spend on Sunday. It appears to be something that is habitual. St. Lucia Labour Party administrations not wanting to be transparent in its dealings with you, the people of St. Lucia, particularly when it comes to accounting for your money, not theirs, your money. As a party, when you're under hustings, you can spend thousands, if not millions of dollars to win a general election. And in most instances, you can't be asked, where did you get the money? It's your money. Buy the t-shirts, lure people in one way or the other to your camp. You do as you please. But as a government, when you enter into certain partnerships, when you, for example, solicit the assistance of certain people and they are working on behalf of the government, we want to know how much you are paying. So I'll take you back to the year 2003. The then St. Lucia Labour Party administration, under Dr. Kenny Anthony as Prime Minister, invited President Clinton to our shores. And he was on island to address public and private sector officials on global interdependence and HIV/AIDS. And yours truly, among other sections of the press in St. Lucia, then a vibrant media community, asking the pertinent questions, not rubbing shoulders with the politicians, not allowing them to dictate what we report on and the questions that we ask and so on. We did ask the then administration, how much is it costing St. Lucia to not only accommodate, but to pay the fees of the U.S. president? Because those guys don't come cheap. And there's a lot of hedging. Those in authority then did not want to provide us with the information. As if every time you ask those leaders, those politicians, government ministers, how much, not how much is costing you, the politician, how much is it costing the taxpayers? You have a problem with that. The then Deputy Prime Minister, Sir Mario Michel, famously quipped to the media, irrelevant detail. Mr. Deputy Prime Minister, how much is it costing the government, by extension the taxpayers, for us to have Clinton here delivering those speeches on island? We know it comes at the cost of the taxpayer. How much is it costing to accommodate him, etc.? Famously said, irrelevant detail, irrelevant detail. That was in 2003. Another SLP administration, question posed to them: how much are you paying Dominican attorney Anthony Astafan to represent the government of St. Lucia in a number of matters? You're talking about representing the government in the Rochamel Frenwell inquiry. How much? Can't disclose. How much is he charging? How much is he being paid to represent you in the matter involving Grindberg? Can't disclose. The Tuxedo Villas customs case. How much is Anthony Astafan charging? No disclosure. And it goes on and on and on. It's a habit that those politicians have, and in particular, St. Lucia Labour Party administrations. And let's fast forward to 2026. How much is it costing the taxpayers of St. Lucia to enter into that arrangement with the British football club Arsenal? And up to now, we're not getting a response. And I wonder if you care. And if you don't, you'll call NewsSpin later and tell me you don't care. And end of story. A lot of people are coming to the defense of the government as far as this matter is concerned. Because for them, what is important is what Arsenal is bringing to us. In terms of its following on social media, in terms of its image, yes, we agree with all that. I don't think that is in dispute. But that comes at a cost. You guys, some of you at least love that football team. Probably more than the St. Lucia team. Probably more than the people of St. Lucia. But that doesn't give you the right to assume that posture whereby whatever you pay them is not the people's business. It's between the St. Lucia Tourism Authority and Arsenal. The Arsenal Football Club, they have shareholders. They have business interests. As far as St. Lucia is concerned, the taxpayers are part of the board of directors. They have an interest. They have a stake in this. If it does not work out, they are the ones who will be footing the bill. And people are asking, what about the previous administration? Didn't you ask them about this and that? Well, where is this United Workers' Party administration that you are referencing? Your argument is weak. It's irrelevant. So I saw a post on Facebook. Somebody has written, at Arsenal's Partners Summit 2026, the club revealed that it now commands an audience of 160 million social media followers worldwide, generated 22.4 billion impressions, and records 2.3 million engagements from posts across its digital platforms. These are not small numbers. They represent extraordinary global reach and influence. So let's take a break from that. If it has that kind of reach, 22.4 billion impressions, records 2.3 million engagements from the posts across its digital platforms, don't you think that Arsenal would have said, it is on that basis that you must pay me Y and X? I see all kind of figures on Facebook. Some people are suggesting £20 million on an annual basis. Who am I to refute this? To say that's not true? And a lot of people are asking us to provide the evidence. Asking people to provide the evidence. Well, based on the insistence of this administration not to reveal the nature of that agreement and how much it is costing the taxpayers of St. Lucia, I think people can say any figure at all. People have earned the right to say it's £1 zillion. Provide us with the evidence. Provide us with the exact figure. So it continues. Somebody is putting a defense for the government of St. Lucia and by extension the St. Lucia Tourism Authority. For a destination like St. Lucia, the value of being associated with a brand that reaches hundreds of millions of people cannot be overstated. Tourism destinations spend millions annually attempting to achieve the kind of visibility that a strategic partnership like this can generate organically through content, branding, fan engagement, and international exposure. Can you imagine me saying that to the board of directors of a private sector entity? And the directors are insisting, how much is it costing? Yes, we agree with all that. Irrelevant detail. Don't care about that nonsense you're telling me with regard to, the engagements across digital platforms. And so I know you're not interested in that. We want to know how much it's going to cost, whether it's worth the investment. At a time when crime is a major issue, we have no response to it. Unemployment is still an issue in St. Lucia. We have a high cost of living. People are being asked to pay more for water. Tell me, prove to me that it's worth the investment so that probably down the road we'll have more visitors, they'll spend more on our shores, we'll have more money, therefore we'll address a number of our issues, etc. But to no avail. Continues. Beyond the marketing value, however, is what makes this partnership truly meaningful. The opportunities for young St. Lucians. The agreement is expected to include football development programs and sports clinics that will allow young players to benefit from coaching methodologies associated with one of the world's elite football clubs. For many aspiring footballers, these experiences can be life-changing, exposing them to higher standards of training, discipline, teamwork, and personal development. At a time when governments everywhere are searching for innovative ways to engage youth, promote healthy lifestyles, and create opportunities for talent development, this partnership offers tangible benefits that extend far beyond the logo on a jersey or a billboard. Despite political differences, this is a big deal for St. Lucia. On this occasion, perhaps the focus should be less on politics and more on ensuring that St. Lucia maximizes every benefit from an opportunity that many countries would gladly welcome. I am sure if Arsenal were to get into an arrangement, a similar arrangement with Barbados, you think Mia Motley would explain to the Bajan public the cost? Jamaica, the same. Trinidad, probably the same. And where is the political differences coming there? Somebody asking the question, forget politics, forget UWP, forget SLP. I am certainly not interested in that. I'm more interested in how much is it costing the taxpayers who are both supporters of the SLP and the UWP, and a significant number not interested in politics at all. So all that nonsense you're talking about, political differences, nah, move that. You're just trying to distract and deflect. We're not interested in that at all. How much is it costing? And very often, when people are hesitant to provide you with what I consider to be simple information, is because they have something to hide. And we will be on that wicket for the foreseeable future. Think the people of this country ought to know exactly what is being done in their name and how much is it costing the people of St. Lucia. If you believe in that particular arrangement, if you believe that it's a good deal for the people of St. Lucia, please take them into your confidence so that they can form their own opinion. I think most St. Lucians are sufficiently wise. They are au fait with a lot of the issues surrounding matters of that nature to form a opinion, but it has to be based on facts. I cannot tell you, St. Lucian people cannot tell you it's a good deal if they don't know how much the government of St. Lucia is spending. An unfortunate incident occurred in the wee hours of today, an attempted arson incident involving the Briefcase. And we will attempt now to speak with the managing director of that entity to find out exactly what transpired and the circumstances. And I'm sure that the police are currently conducting their investigations. And of course, the Briefcase is that famous business establishment. We have on the line now Mrs. Cindy Gabriel. Good afternoon to you, ma'am.
Hi, good afternoon to you, Tim. Good afternoon to you, St. Lucia.
Yes, good afternoon to you. And you have to say good afternoon to the world, because not only St. Lucia.
Good afternoon, world.
Yeah,
Hi.
the world.
Good afternoon, world, and all listeners. Good afternoon. Good afternoon.
Again, unfortunately, this incident has happened. I wish I could have spoken to you under more favorable circumstances. But tell us about this incident, which I think occurred in the wee hours of today.
Yes, definitely, Tim. It's just unfortunate that we experienced a fire at our establishment, which was set by someone. And we got that call this morning about 2:30 from someone who was passing by. And when we got there, the fire service and city council, thanks to their swift response, had already extinguished the fire and had everything under control. It is heartbreaking and really sad that, you as self-employed individual or someone who goes out there putting your life and heart at risk for persons and to assist the public, and someone see it fit to do such an act of mischief for whatever reason only God knows and them. We are grateful that the authorities responded swiftly. We had some damage, which we are looking forward to take care of swiftly and to continue normal operations. However, we did not allow this situation to deter us and keep us down. We have definitely, like the saying goes, we rise from the ashes, and we decided to continue business right outside our establishment today. So we had quite a bit of people waiting for us this morning. We had a huge crowd waiting on us this morning, in spite the lateness and the crowd, because the service that we offer is one that is needed by everyone. If it is not one, it is another. And we are here to serve, and we decided, in spite of our loss, we will continue to serve our people and continue doing what we're doing with an open heart.
Why would anyone want to disrupt your operation or even destroy your business?
Tim, I would hate to think that there is no reason. The heart of men are growing cold, and for selfish reasons, for a case of jealousy, envy, human nature. I can't recall having any incident or confrontation or stirring up any issues or beef with anyone, we call it in our terms. And it is a clear-cut case. This is a pure case of envy, jealousy, wickedness, I don't even know what other evil, because we are here with our doors open and serving people on a daily basis with what we do as a justice of the peace, a photographer, and also a document center where you can get your services, and also an agent. But, like the saying goes, everything done in the dark comes out in the light. And we are forever grateful that we are alive and we are able to serve another day. We thank God for life. We thank God for good health. And we thank God for all of the people who have really called and give us that encouragement and support for the day. The moral support is really important. We're really grateful and thankful for that. And whoever or the people responsible for such action, I wish them well. Because without God, you can't move the next step forward. So I wish them well, and I thank God for his divine protection upon us daily. And we continue to be strong, keep our heads up. And I also encourage a lot of people out there who may be going through similar, just to be courageous, be strong. So we keep pushing, and we'll continue to stand regardless.
Any suspicion as to who might want to do that, or who did that in the first place?
I would not, at this point, I am not in a position to say. Okay. The police are carrying on their investigations, as we know for sure that there is footage that the cameras have picked up at the time the incident happened, which was 2:29 this morning. And we definitely have to allow the system to take its course and let the police do their work. So in that regard, we just have to leave it like that.
Okay. Thank you so much for speaking with us, Cindy Gabriel.
Yes, thank you, Tim.
All right. Thank you so much. And have yourself a good day. And here's hoping that the police, in the course of the investigation, will be able to determine the individual or individuals behind this particular unsavory and wicked incident. You just heard there from Cindy Gabriel of the Briefcase. Let's open the lines right now to take your calls at 452-2979, 452-2979. WhatsApp calls and messages 716-2026, 716-2026. As we say good afternoon to you, Jante, let's find out what is happening in the chat rooms.
Good afternoon, Tim. Starting off on YouTube, our first comment read, Tim, the word is spreading that St. Lucia is an easy target and that the present government can be easily manipulated. Tim, you will never get an answer for that question. Tim, why are you opposing everything that benefits the people of St. Lucia? On Facebook, our first comment reads, I love that clip. The government don't know Chukum. Irrelevant details. How much did it cost to bring down Tinubu? We have another comment saying, yeah, that's irrelevant detail story. That's their habit, secret deals. Another comment here saying, we will never know the cost to our taxpayers of St. Lucia. If the deal is good enough to be signed, it is good enough to disclose. We are waiting. Maybe that's not your business. We have another comment here saying, Tim, they never told you about GPH. Is that they will tell you about? They have to ask Arsenal's owner if they can disclose the details. Until then, you will never hear. Remember Galaxy? Tim, did you know that the Jazz Festival has cost St. Lucia more than the cost of the Arsenal deal over a period of 5 years? We have more comments from our Facebook page saying, what does that have to do with our development? What about the 600 million before the budget borrowed by the PJP Governmental to do what? There are more pressing issues in our country that need urgent attention. We have another comment saying, just to fulfill their fantasies, £4 million was spent for a booth in Arsenal. Say I lie, hacks. Who is at the forefront of this Arsenal deal? Another comment here saying, Tim, what you are reading was written by specialized marketing entities contracted by the government to use words to make everything they do look good. Look now, I won't be able to acquire an Irish visa. Who is in charge of those booths? We have another comment saying, oh wow, are there any CCTV video surveillance in that area? All of a sudden, and our final comment, that's not nice.
Regarding new water rates, and thank you so much, Jante, somebody says there, based on actual consumption patterns, the proposed WASCO tariff adjustments will have a significant financial impact on hotels. For example, in some cases, or in one case, June increase will add approximately $13,300 per month or $92,800 for the remainder of 2026. January 2027 tariff increase will add approximately $36,600 per month or $439,300 annually compared with current rates. The other person says, based on historical consumption patterns, water and sewer costs will rise from roughly $215,000 annually to $648,000 annually by 2027 if usage remains unchanged. 452-2979, WhatsApp calls and messages 716-2026. Let's see if you have a call on the landline. In the meantime, let me see if I have any of your messages to go through. And somebody says there via WhatsApp, this one reads, okay, let's take a call via WhatsApp. Good afternoon to you. This is NewsSpin. You are on the air. Hello?
Mr. Poleon. Hi, Mr.
Yes.
Poleon, good afternoon.
Good afternoon to you, caller.
Let me say afternoon as well to your co-host, should I say.
Good afternoon.
Hello?
Yes, good afternoon to you. She said good
Are
afternoon.
you hearing me?
Loud
Yeah,
and clear, sir.
Sure. Okay,
Yeah.
good. Yes. I just want to first commend you, Timothy, for developing the courage, I should say, to make that bold pronouncement of identity of NewsSpin, which I think you have described as advocacy journalism. Am I correct?
Yes, sir.
Okay. I think it was important that you made such a statement, and I want to commend you for doing so. Yesterday, I think it was a couple of days ago, the leader of the opposition called and, spoke to the issue that is, something that is so passionate among so much St. Lucians now, the whole issue of the gruesome killing of Joyce and Toma. And of course, we know that the funeral and burial did take place yesterday. And he made that appeal that there be some investigation, which was more or less piggybacking on a recommendation made by Sarah Flood-Bowgren a couple of weeks before. That is something I think that is very much in order. But one wonders whether this is going anywhere in the land of St. Lucia. I want to remind us of the killing or the death of Shakadan Daniel, some of us may have forgotten, back in 2013. And 2 years after, very interestingly, the person who currently serves as the special prosecutor at the time presided over an inquest. And the ruling was that it was determined as an unlawful police killing. But up to this day, and I know that personally because I was very much in the forefront of walking along and providing support to the family, the mom of Shakadan Daniel walks up and down every day, going to various authorities, promises being made to her, and there's still no settlement of this matter. Okay, so, and in the leader of the opposition's call, he made mention of civil society. I don't know that we can speak to a concrete existence of civil society in St. Lucia because there's so many issues that are pervasive within the landscape, so many issues that are crying out for advocacy and so on. And, civil society generally seems to be, so lukewarm and ineffective in terms of advocating on behalf of the wider population. But Timothy, I want to move to the big issue of the day, which is water. Wasco, water. And of course, I note that Merculid has become your NewsSpin water consultant.
Yes.
And she seems in her own way to be effective in symbolizing the concerns of St. Lucians.
And we do take the advice. We do take the advice of our consultants, huh?
I know that. And that's why I deliberately made mention of her as, the NewsSpin water consultant.
Because we're not into the business of being fearful about losing votes.
Exactly. So,
Yeah.
and I note that your consultants, you don't look forward to people that carry any particular accolade or who walk around with coats and tie. I note very succinctly that your consultants seem to be, persons from the ordinary ilk,
Yeah.
persons who are day-to-day common folks and so on, and that certainly I take on board. The issue of water has become a major issue for us. Some people describe it as a crisis, if you want. And I want to say that our authorities really need to step forward. The Prime Minister has regurgitated the whole issue of saving, harvesting rainwater, which is nothing new to St. Lucians. But I want to say to the Prime Minister that I think to some extent he's trivializing this issue. This goes way beyond water harvesting. I think it's an issue that, of course, as the WASCO says in its own way, water is life. And so I think we need to see the expression of a national plan to deal with water. Okay, and beyond rainwater harvesting, there are a number of other things that we need to. In fact, one of the fundamental things I think we need to confront as a nation is watershed management. Because I think, and I've made the point before, that WASCO doesn't produce water. WASCO collects, treats, and distributes water. So the point is, if there isn't water, how much WASCO can do? Or if there isn't sufficient volumes of water, how much WASCO can do? So we need to get a concrete, and I think the nation needs to demand that, a plan of action insofar as treating with this water thing. The John Compton Dam, the silting of it, I think, governments have been very tardy in dealing with this. You know that regardless of if there is rainfall, that if you have a catchment area that's silted, it minimizes significantly how much water you can store. So that also should be reflected in that plan of action. I think also the whole question of desalination, although some people may argue that is a costly venture, but at least at the level of the private sector, hotels, etc. And I mention hotels because in many cases, what happens is that the domestic clientele is compromised because priority is given to the hotel business within the country. And so that also, and also the other thing we need to explore is the existence of underground water storage. That is an area that very little has been done. I mean, there are rumors, some years ago that in the Le Paradis area, where there was once a proposed hotel development, that there were massive storage of water in that area, underground freshwater sources. So I think we need as a nation to demand from the government of St. Lucia a concrete plan, not just the mention of water storage or things in a disconnected way. We need to see a holistic plan, which of course would require extensive consultation across different sectors. There's a water management unit, there's the forestry department, the various entities. We also need to see regulation where new developments and structures should be required to have sufficient water storage built into their development. And that is something in terms of conditionality for approval of plans that should set in as a firm requirement. I want to say further, Timothy, that the recent increase granted to WASCO definitely is not going to solve that issue, because, of course, we know there are broader issues which have pointed to that. Even if the intake of WASCO insofar as the water rates, etc., is upscaled, the fact is, if there are issues with the availability of water and we do not have a concrete plan, we are not going to address this major issue. I think it's a major crisis and it affects the development of our country going forward, and we ought to demand that we see a clear-cut plan of action to deal with this water situation. Thank you, Timothy, for allowing my call and hearing me out.
Thank you so much for calling, sir.
Take care, bye-bye.
All right, thank you so much. In other words, what the caller is saying that the Prime Minister is just scratching the surface when he says that you should, engage in water harvesting. When the problem is a lot more complicated than that, you just engage in water harvesting. Before you know it, there will come a time when you'll have no water to harvest. How do you deal with the long-term and perennial problem that we are experiencing at this time? Turn my attention to you, Jante. What is in the chat rooms?
Starting off on YouTube, our first comment reads, Philip J. Pierre and the SLP government is spending money low by the tens of millions and don't want to give taxpayers the figures. How is Tim opposing when he posts pertinent, relevant questions about these deals made on our behalf that we can never get direct responses from our people that we employ to run our country for us? You know what, some St. Lucians are so heartless that they don't want to see people move up, and that's all. This is very sad. Another YouTube comment reading, at this rate that St. Lucia's finances is being managed, a public debt of $5.6 billion, I won't be surprised if St. Lucia files for bankruptcy before long. On Facebook, our first comment reads, the photo op should have been a press conference discussing the signed deal. That's what true leaders do. People are just mischievous. After all the celebration of the life of Joy's death and everything is quieted down, St. Lucians will soon forget, pretend it never happened, continue with their daily lives, and wait for another similar event to feign outrage. That includes politicians with their feign and full voice of concern. We have another comment saying, caller, my grandmother was harvesting water, so tell PGP to try again. Caller, Wasco's head is hard. They get a lot of good advice already. If pigs could fly, Wasco would be a king. Keep the good advice. A few commentary reading, there were 2 wells drilled at the La Paradise site. Unless I don't see a white blackbird, I will not believe in Wasco. And our final comment, tell this caller there's enough rainfall in St. Lucia. Desalination is only a last critical resort. The problem is not enough rainfall, the problem is Wasco's inability to harvest all the millions of cubic water that goes into our seas.
Thank you so much, Shanti, for that update. We have some more still to come on this broadcast. A WhatsApp message. Driving past the active construction site at Fouacho on the way to Le Toc, one can't help but wonder, what exactly is being built there? Is it a government project, a private development, or something else entirely? There is no visible signage identifying the project, the developer, contractor, funding source, or expected completion date. For a project of that scale, the public should not be left guessing. The DCA's development standards are intended to promote transparency, accountability, and public awareness, with major construction projects typically displaying information about approvals and the parties involved. If those standards exist, why does it seem that some developments proceed without the most basic public information being displayed? More importantly, where is the enforcement? Rules only serve a purpose when they are applied consistently, regardless of who is behind the project. That was a WhatsApp message, 452-2979. WhatsApp calls and messages, 716-2026. Another WhatsApp message. I listened to your preamble. Well, lack of answers from successive government isn't endemic to St. Lucia, and I quite agree. We need answers. I can also identify with the following: Boxing in Paradise, American Eagle deal, Barbados, ITEL, BPO, the COVID vaccines, and the list goes on and on. I believe the time has come for the special prosecutor to get out of his comfortable seat, do the job he's being paid for, and to hold everyone culpable accountable. No politician should have that belief that he or she can spend state funds as they please, and no one should challenge them in that regard. Tell them to think again. 452-2979, WhatsApp calls and messages, 716-2026. Let's take a call on the landline. Good afternoon, NewsSpin, you on the air.
Good day to you, Timothy.
Yes, sir.
And the listeners all over the world, you know.
Good afternoon to you.
Very good. Timothy, am I right to say that your guest on Newsmaker Live was Mr. Shastney, right?
Yes, he
I was
was.
watching that show, and then I heard he said something. Now, what he said about the Panama account, and he said that maybe that was some mistake because of a place from China, and that's why that whole thing came up to say that there was an account in Panama. But the first person, Timothy, I heard that mention that was Dr. Kenny Anthony in the house. Why he did not go in it in details, but he made that mention. Then we had Philip J. Pierre, which is a prime minister, who said on a radio talk show that now that the information is out, that people could speculate. And of course, we know we had Richard Frederick printing shirts and doing all kind of thing on his show. So I'm saying to the journalists, if what Alan Shastney is saying is true, that Dr. Kenny Anthony misled the people by making a mistake with a name of a place from China and Panama, don't we need some answers, Timothy?
I guess we know. But, I mean, this whole thing has been politicized. I think it has been explained as well. And I don't want to pursue that issue anymore, caller, because, people will just make hay out of this. And I think I don't want to use this as any form of distraction.
Makes sense, Timothy. And just quickly, Timothy, with the water issue, I personally believe Wasco, we could pay more for the water. However, Wasco have to do what they have to do. We all know what Wasco need to do. Now, to the hoteliers, I noticed that the increase would certainly hurt them in a way. So maybe they should now think of getting water from Dominica. Thank you, Timothy.
Okay, thank you so much for calling. Sounds selfish, but the hoteliers can take care of themselves, caller. Because we have been clamoring, and that goes for so-called civil society in St. Lucia, clamoring for the intervention of various interest groups when things happen in this country that would require the intervention of certain entities on the island. This is happening in a number of other territories in the Caribbean. It is only in St. Lucia we have a WPC kind of attitude. Well, if it's not my business, well, I'm staying out of it. Well, the hoteliers will look after their interest. We are making no noise for any kind of hotelier as far as the increase in the tariff granted to the water and sewage company. Fend for yourself, discuss it as usual among yourself, and just take what you get. That's all I have to say on this. WhatsApp message. Somebody says, these funds, however much it is, should have been used to reduce gas prices, electricity from Nusilek, and the cost of living in St. Lucia. This isn't necessary when we have to pay 2.5% health and security levy. We have a call on the line. Good afternoon. NewsSpin, you on the air. Hello. Good afternoon.
Timothy, good afternoon.
Yes, sir. Good afternoon to you, caller.
Tim, I want to be genuine this afternoon and straightforward. Timothy, in the absence of information, what do you allow the public to do? Not speculate and saying anything, even things that might even lead them into trouble? Why we don't want to provide, deal with a society, a nation, and tell them exactly what is happening, and then we're satisfied. The thing about Arsenal, I heard it, I saw it. To me, I can say it looked good for the young people. Especially we have a lot of young footballers here in St. Lucia. We have, and I believe in time to come, we might have to go through with football. You understand? But then, just simple, let us know what's happening, how much it costing us. That simple thing. You played a clip yesterday from Minister of Finance in Barbados. Tim?
The governor of the Barbados Central Bank, Thunder Minister.
And that is what you could call somebody that is genuine. He did admit that he make a mistake, and he has to let the people know that he make a mistake. It is the taxpayers at the end of the day. That is what we are concerned about. We have to fund those things. It does not come from a politician go to the bank and say, I'm going to take $1 million on my own account and to patch and make the rest of it. We have to pay more for all of this. I am not accusing anybody of doing anything wrong. I am simply saying since you are leading a nation, do things so that the people can know exactly what is happening. And that might not put us in any bad blood with any government, anybody, whether it is Flab or Lib or anybody, but make sure you do it right, and then we can praise you. But if you're not telling us anything, and I cannot understand, we have had so many deals, so many, but then it's almost like we don't want to tell the people what it is, and we could only do it, and we will just tell them, and when they heard it, not even much they can do, neither they can stop it because we have a big mandate. But fellas, let us do these things right, because we don't want problems in the long term in St. Lucia, because these things, if we don't do it right, it can have problems, and it can lead people to say so many different things. And that is why I say, when I make a statement some time ago, and I just even heard it coming from you in a WhatsApp message when you say owning St. Lucia. But if we're not getting information, you don't want us to say owning St. Lucia who doesn't get information from these things, who doesn't get clarity? We want info, we want it clear. And then and when I make that statement, when somebody did take me on, we need these things to be clear enough, so at least all of us can be happy about it, because we have a lot of young people that are very good sportsmen and women. And let's do things right so that they can enjoy whatever deal the government will make on behalf of them. We all can be happy, but at the same time, let the taxpayers of this country know how much it costs us. And in the long term, whether we might have to tie our waist a little harder to help the government pay that debt. Thank you.
All right, sir. Thank you so much for calling. WhatsApp message. Somebody says that, Tim, regarding the government's investment in Arsenal, I would say to the government of St. Lucia, our national debt stands at 78% of GDP. Electricity bills are rising, water bills are rising, gas prices are rising. Families are struggling every single day just to put food on the table. And yet, the government has signed a secret multi-year deal to sponsor Arsenal Football Club, one of the richest clubs in the world, using taxpayers' money, and refuses to disclose the cost. Dr. Hilaire, with respect, your love for Arsenal is not a foreign or economic policy. If St. Lucia wants to market tourism, why are we paying Arsenal FC? As a multi-million-dollar global brand, Arsenal should be invested in St. Lucia, not the other way around. Where is the strategy to ensure ordinary St. Lucians benefit? Tourism must create a trickle-down economy in which taxi drivers, vendors, restaurants, farmers and small businesses all benefit, not just the big hotels, while the ordinary people do not benefit. We the people demand that you provide the terms and conditions of the contract along with the return on investment, and the Parliament debate them. You work for us, not for Arsenal. St. Lucia is not a billionaire's marketing budget. We the people who elected you demand transparency. St. Lucia is not your personal fan club. That's according to a WhatsApp message on this, the most monitored talk show in the world. Still to come on the broadcast, we'll be giving away $324.30. Why that amount, we'll be explaining. First, notice is hereby given that the 31st annual general meeting of the Dennery Community Credit Cooperative Society Limited will be held both virtually and in person at Bethel's Blessing Events and Conference Center at Bypass Dennery on Sunday, 28th June 2026, commencing at 2:30 p.m. A link will be provided to members who are attending the meeting virtually. A special gift will be presented to the first 100 members. Members are kindly encouraged to attend and arrive on time. This is the most monitored talk show in the world.
Advance your career at Lightspark Training with a globally recognized certification. Conveniently located on High Street, Castries, Lightspark offers a wide range of programs to make the most of your career. Certifications in project management, risk management, quality management, marketing, ACC accounting, human resources, Microsoft, Cisco, and IT technician certification, graphic design, web design, and programming. Complete a diploma in accounting in 6 months or a bachelor's degree in just over a year. Call us today at 451-8918 chat or visit us at www.lightspark.com.
Compagnie Courant Lucilec a informé public là qui place service pratique là en maison Blue Coral Asso la 8 pont en Castries qui fermé by public là pour tout temps commencer vendredi 29 mai à 4h après-midi. Lucilec a pris action cela quand il a fait plusieurs changements en opération et fait plan pour délivrer plus meilleurs services. Lucilec a aussi informé que bureau service pratique en maison Carilec à sous la rue Désir en sans souci ouvert et paré pour recevoir et bail pratique les services. Lucilec a encouragé les pratiques qui a servi bureau Blue Coral pour servir l'autre bureau en sans souci, Rodney Bay et Benvier-Fort. Les pratiques aussi ni choix pour visiter yo à sur internet là à lucilec.com. Lucilec a chain commitment pour porter un service qui est reliable, à l'aise pour joindre et bonne qualité qui sa toute pratique les besoins. Management Lucilec regrette n'importe déconvenance qui peut en cause par place Blue Coral là qui ferme et qu'à remercier les pratiques pour l'accompagner.
Lazarus's Funeral Home is here for you. Lazarus's private cemetery offers a peaceful resting place for your loved ones. With tranquil settings, visitation, and reflection, we believe in the compassionate care of all our departed loved ones. Lazarus's private cemetery, let us help you create a final resting place. Make it special. Make it Lazarus's Funeral Home, your friend in a time of need. Payment plans are available for tombs. Call us in Vidbute at 452-7491 or in New Dock Road, VA4, 454-6555.
The very popular Catch a Day is back, and the buzz is going around like a busy bee. And it makes sense because customers are guaranteed 15% off on all cash machines. People have been itching to hear this news, and it's finally here. The dates are July 31st and August 1st, 2026. The place is Europa Hardware in Massad. The event is Catch a Day for the fathers, men and ladies too. Everyone wants to pay less and get more. This is your time. Vacuum cleaners, pressure washers, steam cleaners, upholstery cleaners, carpet cleaners, floor scrubbers, and more. Don't say if I knew. Now you know. 452-0763 Europa.
Every day, the pain is still there. Back, neck, shoulder, hip, chronic arthritis, pain down your leg to your toes, or heel pain when you put your foot on the ground. You've tried many things, but nothing works. Waiting will only make it worse. At La Clinique du Corps, we find the real cause of your pain using advanced MRI scans from head to toes with no radiation for more accurate results. Our specialist doctors provide faster diagnosis and effective treatment. Less pain, better movement, better life. All insurance is accepted. Call now before it gets worse. 451-6559, that's 451-6559, or WhatsApp 721-9950. WhatsApp 721-9950. La Clinique du Corps. Stop suffering. Start living.
Turn up the vibes with Flow! Flow is turning up the vibes with 400 rewards this carnival season. Sign up for postpaid, add it to your internet, and turn up your rewards. From free grocery vouchers and big handset discounts to free event tickets and costumes with the baddest bands. Flow customers are turning up 400 times. Sign up in store or visit discoverflow.co to claim your reward. Terms and conditions apply.
Night Meds is your dependable neighborhood pharmacy. You'll notice that upon entry, you are greeted by caring professional staff, attentive to your every need. Your prescriptions are always treated with a high degree of confidentiality, and we pride ourselves on providing speedy, efficient service. We carry a wide array commonly requested over-the-counter products, and our prices are very competitive. We offer blood pressure testing, blood sugar, and cholesterol testing. We're open to fill your prescriptions Monday to Saturday from 8 a.m. to 8 p.m. Come visit Sadhu's gas station on the Miko Highway or call us at 572-6840 or WhatsApp 461-6840 for more information. Night Meds Pharmacy. We are your community med store.
An supposé, ça c'est dernier kwas de l'eau. En temps cette lisi, tant ka wem ka vini pli long ek pli wed, ek sous de l'eau nou ka cheche. Ek la plia ka tobe pli fort ek pli te wib, ça ka dommage kay nou ek système glo nou. Mais nous sa changer ça. Nous sa conserver de l'eau et protéger sous de l'eau nous. Chaque petit démarche nous point ça aider. Wasko ka travaille ensemble et puis agent pour manager sous de l'eau et ka permettre pour assurer de l'eau en temps qui ka venir. Mais nous besoin si pauvre. Ensemble, nous sa protéger de l'eau nous, santé nous et ka assurer de l'eau pour l'autre génération. Un petit pas ça mène gros changement. On nous protéger de l'eau nous et la vie nous pour tant qui ka vini. Pour plus d'informations, visitez wascostlucia.com.
The official Carnival Sunday line is back. Let's take you to Bacchanal Beach. Every Sunday until July 5th on the Vigi beachfront. Good vibes, drink specials, and live entertainment. Also your chance to register with Island Tribe for Carnival 2026. Bacchanal Beach, the official Carnival Sunday line. Every Sunday until July 5th on the Vigi beachfront. Bacchanal Beach is sponsored by P-Tour Beer, Power 97.9 FM, and the Carnival Planning and Management Agency.
The Eastern Caribbean Central Bank is inviting suitably qualified persons across the ECCU to apply for the position of Facilities Maintenance Technician. If you are ready to take the next step in your career, visit www.eccb-centralbank.org and complete the application form via the Vacancies tab. Applications close on Friday, 19th June.
This is the most monitored talk show in the world, where we continue with your calls and your WhatsApp messages. And of course, Shanti is there going through your comments in the chat rooms. If you're not a deadbeat dad, I have a gift for you today, a monetary prize. And that's $324.30, because Sunday is Father's Day. And we want you to have some spending money over the weekend or maybe into Sunday. So any father who calls me right now, you're not a deadbeat dad, and you can call me right now. Call me via WhatsApp at 716-2026. That's 716-2026. And I'll give you that money, $324.30. And this is compliments of Valley Party Rental. Valley Party Rental, and they have tables, chairs, coolers. They also have fog machines, spark machines. They have the 360 camera and a whole lot more, and it's perfect for little princess and also prince parties. And they are located, I think, somewhere in the valley, because since the name is, what's the name? Party Valley Rentals. Their telephone number is 713-6569, 713-6569, or 461-7872. That's 461-7872. And they want to give away to a father, especially if you're not a deadbeat dad. They want to give you right now $324.30. Mr. Producer, is you commenting what he's saying? We have people calling. Okay, I don't think we can take the. Let's take the call. Okay, we have a call. What do we do? Okay, we'll take the call via WhatsApp. 716-2026. Again, 716-2026. So we have a call online via WhatsApp. Good afternoon to you. You are on the air. Hello. Okay, we lost that call. We will take another call. Hello, good afternoon. Even Rick wants to is in on this money, it seems. Good afternoon, you on the air?
Yeah, hello, good afternoon.
Good afternoon to you, sir. Have you taken care of your child support?
Oh yes.
Okay.
Oh yes.
How many children?
Been doing it for 14 years now.
14 years. And how many children do you have, sir?
114, 14.
14. Okay, and where and where you calling from? Kareli. And you won that money?
Yes.
You won that money?
Of course. But anything.
Why should I give it to you?
Yeah, because I can proudly say I'm a good father. I can proudly say that.
And you're deserving of it?
I'm deserving of it.
What will you do with that money for Father's Day?
What will I do with that money? I can take them out to have some ice cream, man.
$324.30. What is your name?
Marvin.
Okay. Marvin, you know where our studios are located? Okay, we are located at VG. That's Power FM. Located at VG. You pass in front of the Red Cross, and you go up as if you're going to DBS, and you see
to DBS,
right. And the station is located on your left, and there's a sign that says there Power FM. So if you could be there for at least 2:15 this afternoon, can you do that?
Yes, I can do that.
Okay, all right, be there, because at least when I conclude the broadcast at 2:00, I could give you the money after that. All right.
No problem.
So I'll be there. I'll be there until 2:15. So we have for you $324.30. Okay?
All right.
And it is
Thank
cash.
you.
We have no check. It's cash.
Even better.
Okay. All right, my brother.
Okay. Thank you.
All right. Okay. So congratulations to you, Marvin. And once again, this is compliments of Valley Party Rental. They have tables, chairs, they have coolers, etc. available for rent. And they can be contacted at 713-6569, 713-6569, or 461-7872, 461-7872. And it is all about party. That's Valley Party Rental. And they have tables, chairs, coolers, etc. for rent. 713-6569 or 461-7873. So the owners, they called me recently and they wanted to have this giveaway. So we have done it, and full transparency, and we have a winner, and his name is Marvin. He'll be collecting that money within the next few minutes. Rick Wen, you can call the broadcast right now. Okay, I see that you were trying to call the program earlier on, so we will be taking your calls anytime from now. Let's say good afternoon to you again, Jante. Let's find out what is happening in the chat room.
Good afternoon, Tim. Starting off on YouTube, our first comment reads, "Caller, a strategic plan will address all aspects of national water supply, including deforestation, desilting of dams, underground water sources, and desalination. PJP is talking nonsense. You expect to see anything to show for it when an individual draws his paycheck and the first place he goes is to a rum shop. What do you expect?" On Facebook, our first comment reads, "Pierre cannot or did not use his moral persuasion to stop the increase. If he tried, he failed. Don't forget, they are called colorfuls. Who is going to answer you, sir?" We have another comment here saying, "Wasco is deliberately manipulating the water system in St. Lucia. Was there a previous water source before the John Compton Dam? Why did the authorities abandon it? Can someone explain? Politicians use their house privileges for mischief and misinformation."
Thank you so much, Jante. Rick Wen is on the line via WhatsApp. Good afternoon to you, sir. You are on the air.
Tim. Wow.
Good afternoon to you, Rick.
So now everybody wants information. Let me give you some information, Tim. When plunder becomes a way of life for a group of men in society, over the course of time, they create for themselves a legal system that authorizes it and a moral code that glorifies it. You think maybe I should read that over?
Yeah, you should.
That's for information. When plunder becomes a way of life for a group of men in society, over the course of time, they create for themselves a legal system that authorizes it and a moral code that glorifies it. Now, that was said by Claude Frederick Bastiat a long time ago. Now, Tim, I want to bring that up for you. When you hear a statement like that, which is 100 years old and survives, and you hear references to when plunder becomes a way of life for a group of men in society, the automatic thing is to say, it's the politicians. That is the automatic thing, Tim. And that's where we got into trouble. Let me just read another little line. Ignorance allied with power is the most ferocious enemy of justice. Ignorance allied with power is the most ferocious enemy of justice. A selfish person, not easily moved into action, would rather lie and steal to achieve and be recognized for property and prestige than to be interested in justice. Now, in both cases there, Tim, the power these people are talking about, and not politicians, Tim, they are talking about the power of the people. Because we need to grow to understand that. The politicians everywhere are crooks and whatever, but the worst crooks and the worst politicians are where the people allow it or where the people join in with it. When your government is in power and you support everything they do just for the point of supporting it, you are ignorant, you are selfish, and you are contrary to justice, you acting. But isn't that what we have in this country, regardless who's in office, Tim?
Yes, we do.
We need a change of thinking in this country. Our politicians, yellow or red, will not improve until, first of all, the masses of the people decide they are being taken for a ride by politicians. We can't understand that. The politicians do not have, as much as they do want to buy everybody, they can't even steal enough to do it. And if they steal it, the mere fact that politicians steal money, understand they ain't stealing it for you. You think when a politician steals money or a politician is corrupt, that the politician is corrupt and a thief because for your benefit, Tim? Does it make any sense to you?
100% is for his benefit.
For his benefit, and if he has to give you a little $10 there, that is all part of the expenses.
Exactly, and that's for his benefit as well.
You see, even when he gives you the $10,
yeah,
that's for his benefit.
Yes.
So we have a bunch of people in this thing. I know you have to have a show, and I hope your show continues. And I like to hear, even though I don't agree with things, I like to hear people talking and exchanging ideas. But we have to put some quality in what we are talking about and stop this repetitious bullshit that's been going on forever in this country. And we can see where it has brought us and where it's going to bring us. Even where it's going to bring us, we can see nothing. Because it's the same road. Now, I quickly want to say to you, in 1997, one of my biggest disappointments was I had hoped the government of the day, 97, the enlightened time, when we were talking about, that's the last time we were talking about good governance and everything else, right?
Yes.
97. 11 what? How many seats? 16-1.
Yeah.
I tried like hell to talk to the appropriate ministers to turn, at the time, a rum establishment on the beach, invest a little something in it, and turn it into a beach gym, and charge maybe 25 cents or something like that, encourage people to come and work out. The tourists have a workout. Everybody, people can mix and be healthy. I'm very happy to see Twatene is now whatever they made him there, and the what I see as treadmills. That's from 1997 now. That's a good move, but couldn't we have done that to him really a long time ago?
We would be seeing the benefits. We would be seeing the benefits of this now.
That's correct. That's correct. And my next question to you: people want information. How much more information do they need on Granville? How much more information do they need on impact? How much more information do they need on the 17-year-old boy who was killed in a car like a dog? And no answer. How much more information do they need on Kimberly de Leon? What makes you think anything more? Joy is forgotten, Tim.
Yeah.
Joy is forgotten. Never mind all the politicians playing their games around. They don't give a F. They don't care.
All the elected women we have in our parliament and those who are appointed, they attended the funeral yesterday, as far as you're, Eric?
I don't know. I've been there. I've seen this happening so many times.
Yeah.
Belinda, Joseph, all of them. All those things have been going on. This hypocrisy, this taking the country for a ride. And, the country is just getting worse and worse. People are believing less and less in institutions. In fact, they are not even institutions. The matter of asking for information, I think that is even more bullshit from people. Well, what are we going to do if we don't have? When you have it, when you have had it, you've done nothing with it. And the information that we're looking for all depends on whether it's pink, red, or yellow. We have to understand that. They don't like to hear Rick Wynn's voice because Rick Wynn has to either love Pip or hate Pip or love Alan or hate Alan. I'm not in that crap. Been there, done that. Been there, done that. And you all better get used to the idea. This is the last voice. Last time you're going to have a voice like that. For a long time afterwards. You're going to get another Rick Wynn for a long time. Let me brag about it. Not bragging. Let me kick you in the teeth about it. Because everybody who could say something has gone into a hole. Rick Wynn is the only one talking straight about it. The prime minister you get is what you deserve. If you treat a prime minister or a government, especially in this country, a certain way, that's what you're going to get. It doesn't matter who it is. And don't think there's anybody, any prime minister, who hates St. Lucia. I don't believe any prime minister hates St. Lucia. I said so at Compton. I have never believed Compton got up in the morning and said, let me see how I can screw up St. Lucia. But Compton was not God. And Compton made mistakes. And Compton was allowed to get away with a lot of things Compton should never have been allowed to get away with. Am I right on that or not? You know exactly what I'm talking about here.
And we have
not had a scandal.
And we are feeling the effects.
That's what we're feeling, and that's what I want to drive home. All those things we endorse with our silence and our cowardice, that's what we're paying for now.
Mm-hmm.
That is what we're paying for now. I remember once, I'm going to call her name, she was working with me at the time. I asked Nicole McDonald at the Star, how does a woman feel when she leaves work in the evening and she's living in some little place where there is darkness and so on? How does it feel? You feel scared. She doesn't like me to say that she said that she didn't feel scared. Now she tells me she did say she feels scared. But I also went around up north, the marina, Tim, with a couple of reporters. And I asked a number of women there if on their way home from work they got raped. Would they tell their boyfriends? Tim, every single one of them said no. No. Would they report it to the police? No. Because they don't think anything is going to happen. And as far as the boyfriend is concerned, the norm is the boyfriend leaves them.
Mm-hmm.
And that's years and years, and it's gotten worse. Worse. What happened to Joy has happened to other people before. Why is Joy, and I hope I'm not misconstrued here, but what is different about Joy's case versus, what's her name?
Kimberly de Leon.
What is the difference?
I think there's a vast difference, Rick, because I'll tell you the difference. There's a paper trail She did everything that was required. Hold on.
I cannot give you an argument because to give you an argument.
We're in the era now of. No, hold on, Rick. We're in the era right now of voice notes. We heard messages and so on. So people have
Tim, let me say
this intimate knowledge and closeness to it.
Tim, let me just say this. I could answer that question and say to you and prove to you that there is no difference, but that's not the point, okay? I could answer it, but I dare not, okay? But in this case here, why is it no group of lawyers, no group of people, at the very least, demand an answer from the authorities, I mean the police, regarding that treatment of all those pleas by this woman? The police have acknowledged that the woman reported and everything else, no?
Yes.
They have acknowledged that. And so let's forget about that. You know, that's what's going on.
Rick, in my interaction with so many people right now, prominent, influential people who are so-called powerful and so on, is that, honestly, they are afraid of the backlash, of the repercussions.
Let me tell you more. I'm going to say a good word for them. Excuse. You must also keep in mind the one or two people who talked. They could never depend on support from right-thinking solutions, you know, Tim. So why would I look at a guy just because he has a voice and he has a few bucks in the bank? He has his children, he has to leave money, he gets old, why should I tell this guy to put all those things at risk for a bunch of people who don't give an F? Demonstrably, we don't care, Tim.
Mm-hmm. You're correct.
Demonstrably, we don't care. Why are we still looking for politicians to do things for us when we should be the ones making politicians do things for us? Why?
But before we conclude,
information we don't want any information. And even if the government give the information, whatever government, we cannot double check the information. And very often we have had information that turned out to be lies. We know politicians lie to us. So what information are you talking about? The information is either red or yellow. That's the only interest in this country. So the politicians have now paled into insignificance, and it's the people of St. Lucia that are shafting St. Lucia, not the politicians, yellow or red. They are the instruments.
But let me ask you, Rick, 23 years after we were told irrelevant detail, your thoughts on the fact that in that deal between St. Lucia Tourism Authority and Arsenal, we are not being told the details. How much is it costing the taxpayers?
All right, let me answer it this way. When Maria Michelle told the reporter, and that was Nicole, irrelevant detail, allow me to just, that thing, I'm not swearing to him really. That was the official way of saying fuck off. You know my drift? That was a nice official way, irrelevant detail. How can it be an irrelevant detail? It later turned out because we pressured and kept on it because we used to stay on cases for 5 years, you know.
Yes.
We found out who paid for it was Chaguri. Who is Chaguri? What is Chaguri doing now? Who is Chaguri? You know, now if you mention Chaguri, what you're going to get is who brought him in. That's the level of discussion. What does Chaguri represent? So to answer your question, nothing changed. Things just get worse, Tim. They just get worse. Unattended, they just get worse. You talk about the same subject every day, only that's exacerbated. Only now, when you have a voice note like that, that voice note itself should be common knowledge, should be played, should be on the radio, etc. That's chilling. But to listen to this voice note, and I don't believe, either that woman, because I heard her voice too, either that woman had given up on everything and said, kill me if you want, I don't care. I hate to think that, but she sounded like a person who has given up.
Yeah.
That's how she sounded like. The woman did not even sound bothered that she could be dead in the next 10 minutes. And that voice is worth listening to. But we play it for once. We don't even play it on the air. We should be playing that as an embarrassment for the authorities, for the courts. You know we can't even trust the courts and the judges anymore, Tim. We cannot. And don't ever get the idea into your head because a guy is a judge, he's impeccable and he's pure.
Mm-hmm.
Because in bigger countries, a lot of judges are going to jail.
Yeah.
You see, but over here, if you're a priest, you're a judge or somebody, you can get away with murder. And in our country, the judges and what are far too close to the politicians. Tim, how are you going to get? This is a symbiotic relationship between the politicians and the judiciary, which should be separated. Scratch my back, I scratch yours, is what the situation is. And that should not be. That causes trouble. When plunder becomes a way of life for a group of men in society, over the course of time, they create for themselves a legal system that authorizes it and a moral code that glorifies it. Thank you, Tim.
Thank you so much, Rick. Still to come on the broadcast, the most monitored talk show in the world, Red Flags. Please stay with us.
Advance your career at LightSpark Training with a globally recognized certification. Conveniently located on High Street, Castries, LightSpark offers a wide range of programs to make the most of your career. Certifications in project management, risk management, quality management, marketing, ACC accounting, human resources, Microsoft, Cisco, and IT technician certification, graphic design, web design, and programming. Complete a diploma in accounting in 6 months or a bachelor's degree in just over a year. Call us today at 451-8918 or visit us at www.lightspark.com.
Every day, the pain is still there. Back, neck, shoulder, hip, chronic arthritis, pain down your leg to your toes, or heel pain when you put your foot on the ground. You've tried many things, but nothing works. Waiting will only make it worse. At La Clinique du Corps, we find the real cause of your pain using advanced MRI scans from head to toes with no radiation for more accurate results. Our specialist doctors provide faster diagnosis and effective treatment. Less pain, better movement, better life. All insurance is accepted. Call now before it gets worse. 451-6559, that's 451-6559, or WhatsApp 721-9950. WhatsApp 721-9950. La Clinique du Corps. Stop suffering. Start living.
Select wishes to advise customers that its customer service kiosk located at the Blue Coral Mall in Castries will be permanently closed to the public on Friday the 29th of May at 4 p.m. This closure is being undertaken as part of Lucelec's ongoing operational adjustments and service delivery planning. Lucelec is pleased to advise that its customer service office at the Carolec building on Daisy Avenue in San Souci is now open and ready to receive and serve walk-in customers. Customers who previously accessed services at the Blue Coral kiosk are encouraged to visit this location or our other offices in Rodney Bay and Vieux-Fort. Our remote options, including the virtual service desk on our website, lucelec.com, is also available. Lucelec remains committed to providing convenient, accessible, and efficient service options to meet the needs of our customers. The management of Lucelec regrets any inconvenience that the kiosk closure may cause and thanks customers for their understanding.
On Saturday, June 27, Club Maryland is bringing you way back for something called Back in Time, the old school fest. St. Lucia, are you ready to party with all the old school songs that you grow with? Zouk, hip hop, R&B, soca, dancehall. From the 80s, 90s, and 2000s, we're taking you way back, playing all the tunes Don't you remember from back in the days? Music by Black Diamond, DJ Shallings, Dr. Bit, DJ Danny. Oh yes, that fed go be sweet. Tickets is only $50, $60 at the door. And with every ticket, you get a free drink. At Club Maryland, Rodney Bay Strip, St. Lucia. I tell you, it's an old school fete. Come on, let's party till we get wet. Saturday, June 27th, Club Maryland is the place to be. Get your tickets now at Club Maryland. Behind Escape Rodney Bay, Steve Barbershop. Yo, it's going to be mad.
Exceeding your expectations is what we strive for at Lazarus Funeral Home. Losing a loved one isn't something you can foresee. Since the beginning, affordability has been one of our priorities. Every day we're proving that burials don't have to be expensive. If cost is a factor in your time of bereavement, call Lazarus Funeral Home. We have coffins starting at $800 plus taxes. Nothing can cause more disappointment than poor quality. Help us help you keep your last memory of your loved one sacred. Make it special. Make it Lazarus Funeral Home, your friend in a time of need. Located at Bibliotheque Castries at 452-7491 and New Dock Road V4 at 454-6555.
Stop paying full price. With Flow, you can slash your bill in half. You heard right. Cut your mobile bill in half when you add mobile to internet. That's the most reliable Wi-Fi at home. Plus, all the data you need on the go. So don't wait. Double your connection and double your value for half the price. Add mobile to internet today. Visit in-store or online at discoverflow.co for more details.
The very popular Catch a Day is back, and the buzz is going around like a busy bee. And it makes sense because customers are guaranteed 15% off on all cashier machines. People have been itching to hear this news, and it's finally here. The dates are July 31st and August 1st, 2026. The place is Europa Hardware in Massad. The event is Catch a Day for the fathers, men and ladies too. Everyone wants to pay less and get more. This is your time. Vacuum cleaners, pressure washers, steam cleaners, upholstery cleaners, carpet cleaners, floor scrubbers, and more. Don't say if I knew. Now you know. 452-0763 Europa.
The Royal St. Lucia Police and Allied Services Cooperative Credit Union Limited wishes to inform its esteemed members of its 52nd Annual General Meeting on Wednesday, June the 24th, 2026 at 10 a.m. at the Financial Administrative Building, Point Seraphine, Castries, under the theme, Members' Dreams, Our Mission. The first 50 members to register in person will win prizes. Members joining virtually will get a chance to win special prizes. Come discuss the business of your credit union. Please be punctual.
Put your red flag up in the air, up in the air, up in the air. Put up your red flags if you witness wrongdoing. Put up your red flags if you see something shady happening. Put up your red flags at first sign of corruption. Put up your red flags to expose crooked politicians. Because if you look ahead and danger is imminent, would you just go to bed with integrity on silent? Flag it if it's on pretense. Flag it, it defies common sense. Flag it if it does not serve to preserve our value system. Put your red flag up in the air, up in the air, up in the air. Put your red flag up in the air, up in the air. Put your red flags up. If the crime rate keep on escalating, red flags up. If the murder toll consistently rising, red flags up. If you give them your vote, red flags up. But they squeeze in your throat, red flags up. If you give them your trust, and in the end, all you getting back is disgust. Oh, put your red flags up in the air, up in the air, up in the air. Put your red flags up in the air, up in the air, up in the air. minute you notice. Put up your red flags if they're not delivering on what they promise. Put up your red flags when our leaders acting funny. Put up your red flags when Wallet's fat and Rosie with big belly. When the watchdogs are asleep and the chief they're celebrating. Taxpayers' money in grief and mysteriously vanishing. Flag it if it's something wrong. Flag it if it's upside down. Flag it if it does not appeal or involve making a backroom deal. Put your red flags up in the air, up in the air, up in the air. Put your red flags up in the air, up in the air. Put your red flags up. If the treasury keep on running dry and the ones in charge still cannot answer why. If the Haleka say deep in the CSA, if they gave you a code to fix the road, as if that would lighten your load. Oh, put your red flag up in the air, up in the air, up in the air. Put your red flag up in the air, up in the air.
Solange performing the song Red Flags. That's for the carnival season of 2024. In a bit, we'll have the final update from you, Jante, and we also have our NewsSpin question of the day as well as the NewsSpin news of the day. But first, Mico South presents second Father's Day Family Fun Day, and that is on Sunday, the 21st of June 2026. This Sunday, the venue is the Dairy Soap Playing Field. Time is from 11 o'clock in the morning. There'll be a variety of fun games, family team challenges, lots of food and drinks. All communities in Mico South are invited to participate in a series of events. No vendors allowed. So once again, Mico South presents the second Father's Day Family Fun Day this Sunday, the 21st of June 2026, and the venue is the Dairy Soap Playing Field, and it commences at 11 o'clock in the morning this Sunday, Father's Day. Over to you, Jante. What's happening in the chat rooms?
Starting off on YouTube, our first comment reads, where is the Minister of Housing's strategic plan for affordable housing in St. Lucia after 5 years in office? Snake infestation is a problem, but the mood is red. Water shortages everywhere. The healthcare sector is a mess. Roads are eating vehicle suspensions and tires. The government has no plan to address crime, but the mood is red. On Facebook, our first comment reads, the lawyers are guilty themselves. St. Lucia is sinking and we have no one to help it. When UWP candidates address the issues, SLP says they are obsessed with the minister. We have another comment saying, Rick Wayne, it's nice to hear from you. What does Alan have to do in that? Peep is the PM. Rick, you are so right. I have been saying the same. We have a few comments here reading, caller, I can guarantee you no St. Lucian is going to become an international soccer player from that Arsenal team. Simply to the one university graduate from any household hasn't happened. At the end of the day, those are the ones suffering, crying no water there, no water here, and it's just sad to see the way we are behaving as a people in this country. People from Ancillary should demand Dominic Fede table or sponsor a bill in the Senate to honor Joyce and Oma to protect other women so this doesn't happen to another woman, instead of him playing lip service and calling media outlets feigning concern. What's wrong with the current minister talking about responsibility? Some news spinners here saying SLP is behaving like Arsenal is the Salvation Army. Contribution of the week. Another saying, hacks always want the people who are not in government to answer questions that are affecting the country and do things that benefit the island. We have more comments from our Facebook page saying, caller, this government is a secret deals government. Now he's doing worse and what he was against in opposition. Yes, the opposition is the government also, but the government does not include them in anything that they are doing. How can you make a deal with Arsenal for all that money and you have nothing to show in return? I'm hearing about the benefits from sports tourism, but where are the sporting stadiums? benefits for young sporting camps, where are the sporting activities? And our final comment, that's the easiest money ever made.
Thanks so much, Jante, for that update. Time now for our NewsSpin question of the day. And the question of the day reads, why is there a lack of transparency regarding the cost of the SLTA's partnership with Arsenal? Why is there a lack of transparency regarding the cost of the SLTA's partnership with Arsenal? The NewsSpin question of the day. And now the NewsSpin news of the day. Strait of Hormuz shut again. Iran's Navy issues warning after Israel strikes on Lebanon. Strait of Hormuz shut again. Iran's Navy issues warning after Israeli strikes on Lebanon. The NewsSpin news of the day, bringing to a conclusion another week of the world's most monitored talk show. Don't forget, please, to like the video, share, subscribe to the NewsSpin YouTube channel, and click the notification bell to help the NewsSpin channel grow. My name is Timothy Poleon. Enjoy your weekend. We'll be back, God willing, on Monday afternoon. Goodbye.